There we go.
There we are. Thanks, Charlotte. Hi, everybody. We're, as usual, just letting a few people join and link on here as well. So, firstly, thank you all and good evening and thank you all for joining us. We'll just warm up. We're going to be talking first about 927, which is our Brew by Numbers collab. So, if you're joining in for the first one with us, feel free to grab that one as well. As usual, a few familiar faces on there, so thank you all for coming along to join us. So my name's James. I'm the export manager over at Thornbridge Brewery. We've got Russell, our taproom manager, who's on the call with us as well, and we also have Charlotte, who looks after our social media for us too. And we're joined today by Tom Hutchins, who is from Brew by Numbers, the managing director, and we're lucky to have him on the call with us this evening to talk a little bit about the beer as well. So, yeah, I think we seem to have most sort of people on there. As always, please, keep the chat function open. We'll be keeping an eye on it. If you've got any questions for us, pop them in the chat there. We'll definitely make sure to answer them. You have questions about, Brew by Numbers, about Thornbridge, taproom, export, social media, anything at all, drop it in there and we'll always be happy to answer it. But hopefully everyone has been enjoying their boxes this month. Nice fun one, of course, loads of different styles coming through. As I said, we're going to start out with the Brew by Numbers one, so I don't want anyone getting thirsty while we're getting on that bit. So please, Tom, tell us a little bit, from your side, how you enjoyed the collab, found it, I know we've just been drinking the beer now, just a couple of minutes prior as well, so hopefully you're enjoying it. But yeah, tell us also a little bit about Brew by Numbers too. Oh, sorry, you there, Tom?
Yeah, sorry, missed that last bit of it, but yeah, it's first chance I've had to try it really, and yeah, really pleased with how it's come out. The backstory, I was actually really wanted to come and visit your site because I've never been up to Thornbridge before. So yeah, I was dying to come and see it, and then we had that like massive dump of snow, which kind of, I think it was actually worse in the southeast than it was where you were, but it just basically meant getting out of London was almost impossible. And at the same time, there were rail strikes and things happening, so it was like, I'm not going anywhere, unfortunately. So yeah, that was a shame. But yeah, I think English IPA. Can you hear me okay? I'm cutting out.
Yeah, can hear you. Your face is frozen, but we can still hear you there. Oh, famous last words. Sorry, Tom. Maybe
just did you catch any of that or not? I think I've just switched to a different network.
It sounds much better now. Yes. Oh, sorry, Tom. Maybe also famous last words there. We will see how we're getting on. Hopefully other people have been enjoying them. Again, please, if you've got any questions for Tom, keep popping them in the chat. And then when we get Tom back properly, is that you there, Tom?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it'll be working now. But yeah, I was dying to come up to Thornbridge. I'm from a show myself, and yeah, I really wanted to come and see your place. I've never made it over yet, unfortunately, in many years of brewing. And yeah, was really keen. And then yeah, we just had this massive snowfall, which meant I just couldn't escape London at the time. I think a lot of the trains weren't working either, so it was just no opportunity to make it. But yeah, I think the beer concept of doing an English IPA, I guess it probably still seems a little bit wild at the moment, but we've done a few different ones recently. We did one with yourselves. We did a collab with Yakima, with YCH, the yeast folk in Copenhagen, where we used to do the Thial IPA. And we've just done an English lager using Hannah English malt and UK, like modern UK hops, and that's made with this special lager yeast that they're using for cold IPAs.
Okay.
That's the Amazonian strain one. It doesn't produce any sulfur. So yeah, I think it's having kind of on the brink of some really interesting things coming from UK, especially from hop varieties. I did had a hop rubbing session with Charles Fareham in January with lots of brewers, and they were presenting all of the new English hops that are coming onto the market. Some of them are just very small grow amounts at the moment, really, just testers. But yeah, I was really impressed by how they've come along. Same with the European varieties as well. And I think in the 70s they kind of they just wanted certain generic hop flavors, Fuggles, Goldings, things like that. So a lot of these other varieties were sort of cast to the side, but they're really starting to embrace them again now. And I think that, combined with these new interesting types of yeast, can really, sort of help make something that's really quite special, something quite different from the usual sort of cloudy, hazy IPAs that a lot of folk are drinking.
Yeah, agreed. And I think having that like hazy English, we talked briefly again just before, but that hazy English IPA, maybe you look at it and you're expecting that more tropical American hop, but you get that really nice depth of flavor, I think, that you get with this one, with the that little almost like floral herbal, then you got the lemon, a little bit of sweeter orange sort of character in there as well. And it just provides you something nice and different, isn't it, doing an English IPA like that? Because we have, as you say, so many nice new hops coming through that we want to show off as well.
Definitely, yeah, I'd agree. It's a different sort of flavor palette, and I think there's a lot of fun to be had with it. English hop varieties, what is it, Bramley Cross and things like that. You can get some really nice sort of hedgerow berry flavors, but we're really starting to get, especially with this one, these lovely sort of orange flavors coming through as well. So yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting things to play with. Obviously the cost of them is more favorable than the US stuff, but also it's just nice to kind of focus a bit more on what we can get close to home, what we can get around us, and what we can make use of with that. So yeah, it's an interesting time, and it'll be interesting to see where that, if this becomes like a subgenre of IPA, or if there's more modern English style beers, interpretations of English style beers that come through. I think it's a really interesting time for that. So yeah, it'd be exciting to keep playing with it for sure.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. It's of course, been very fun doing the collab together with yourselves and working this through and doing that hazy one. We've got a number of, I suppose, like pale ales and more traditional, maybe British styles, but with the more, the Harlequin we did recently, Olicana we've been playing around with as well. So yeah, there'll be some fun stuff coming through here as well that's more English hop focused in the future too.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But then, sorry, Carl.
Harlequin and Jester are great. I've only had others kind of combined, so I don't really know, but yeah, there's a lot of good stuff out there. So yeah, let's see. With climate change and everything, it might work quite well for hops in Kent and Herefordshire.
Yeah, if they get warmer.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, bro. Well, and I mean, I know, of course, you're very, very well established. You've been making great beers for a long time, but would you mind? It's always quite nice for the guys who jump on here. They're all, big beer fans. They love to know a bit more about it. So, in your own words, would you mind telling us a little more about the brewery, the story, everything, how they can find your beers and things like that as well? People are based all around the UK on the call too. So.
Good, yeah. Well, yeah, we're based in London. We started brewing in a basement on Thornbridge Road, which is just up the road from Borough Market. I had a friend who at the time worked at a small brewery down the road called the Colonel, and so he kept bringing me these beers, and at the time they were pretty special. There was not really anything quite like it, although they were really bitter and quite yeasty, but they were great. And that kind of inspired myself and my friend to give it a go. So yeah, we started making beer professionally and selling it from a basement, just in sort of 50, 100 litre batches, but with the idea at the time we were doing something new and different, which back in 2011, saisons are pretty new and pretty edgy, pretty out there. I think that's that trend has kind of been and gone a bit now. But yeah, we were playing around, experimenting. So we'd take a batch and we'd split it into different ways, and we'd do different experiments on it. So maybe try different yeasts, hops, things like that, combinations, and then we'd take the winner of those and rebrew it. And that's kind of how our numbering system came about. So been going for 10 years now. We've done over 500 different beers, 38 styles or sub-styles. And we moved from the basement slightly further up in the world to a railway arch in Bermondsey. And we had a few sites, had 2 sites there, and we opened a site in Peckham as well. So we have taproom was really important, I guess, at the time as well. It was with the taprooms, and still to this day as well, is that people love to come and see where something's being made. There's an honesty in that, and they can see where it's being made and meet the people who are making it. And it was at this weird time when there was all sorts of like funny things going to people's food and whatnot. And so it was good to have that sort of honesty about how something was made and where it was made. And in London especially, people want to kind of go into different places, fun places, different sorts of venues. So I think we kind of offered that as something a bit different, really, and that's kind of part of how the beer mile and things grew in Bermondsey to what it is today. And so we've moved. We still have one site there, but during COVID and everything else, we moved to a new site in Greenwich, Morden Wharf, which is a mid-century warehouse, quite a big space, with a terrace just right on the Thames. And so we've increased our brewing capacity, although we still have some of the original kit that we used. Got some bigger tanks. Got a nice new canning line as well, which enables us to do lots of different sorts of cans, and sodas and all sorts of things, really. So we're there at the moment, and just kind of hoping that things are going to kind of pick up, and things will move forward with the economy and everything else, because it's been pretty crazy time. Especially in London. It's don't know if any of the folks here are from that area, but it's quite different now to how it was pre-COVID, and things are not really returned. It's like the Thursday night is the new Friday night now in London, and it's quite quiet on the weekends and things. So especially in the centre. It's quite different. I guess we have to accept we're living in different times now. But it is what it is, and we're making what we can of it. And I think there's as rubbish as it has been, I think there's a lot of good stuff to look forward to coming through this next year or so, especially if the weather finally changes. Anyway, we do lots of different beers still. We've been doing some cask as well, doing more cask, which we just used to do a tiny bit of. And like a lot of other breweries, sort of focusing a bit more on core beers now, or our most popular styles, which is our Session IPA number 11, and Lager 32 and IPA 05, which we sell to trade, directly to consumer through webshop and our tap rooms, and in supermarkets as well. So we have quite a wide sales base, but then I think kind of have to these days, because everything's so up in the air, and one month one thing will do well and the other thing won't do so well. So hedging our bets a bit with that.
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
Exactly. And we do a festival. We've done 2 festivals over the summer. We're looking to do another one, Riverside Festival, at the end of August this year. And sort of looking forward to that, to getting more folk down to the brewery, and
nice.
Hopefully getting down for a collab at some point as well.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have the brewers coming down, definitely. You can't keep them away, so it'd be good to do. And when's your festival? Or can we find it on your website, or?
We haven't released a date for it yet.
Okay.
I've done other ones sort of earlier in the year and previous years, but I've had other things that we've kind of been working through. So plans to do it at last weekend in August at the moment, all being well. I think we're going to do more things. I'm pretty keen to do like a more of an English focused festival, or a cask beer festival. The area we're in is a bit different to Bermondsey. In Greenwich, it's more kind of families and slightly kind of older audience, I guess. So I think there's more scope for doing, you know, sort of nice festival atmosphere things, but things that maybe sort of also child and dog friendly, and yeah, nice sort of food and things like that. Nothing too edgy, really.
No, that's good though. That's how they should be, I think.
Yeah, approachable, I guess. So
yeah, that's our own one as well in August too, is the same. It's always, you know, family friendly, pet friendly. Just nice to create a nice atmosphere and have people relax. You don't want them too edgy.
no, that's it.
And have you got any sort of beers coming up or anything that we can keep an eye out for? You know, again, lots of beer fans on the call. So yeah, if you've got anything you could suggest, any collabs that we should look out for or anything.
There's always a few things going on. We did collab with Emperor Brewing recently, and we had a Star Wars themed event at the brew, which is pretty interesting because there's a big event at the O2 which is nearby, and quite a few folk turned up dressed in, you know, full Star Wars characters.
Awesome.
So yeah, that was kind of a bit different, but yeah, it was a great night. So yeah, we did an Imperial Stout that we did in these little 250ml cans with the cow nibs and cherry, and I was away at the time, but apparently there was a bit of an accident with the mash tun being open too early and the whole brew house floor being covered in malt, in like dark sticky malt. So kind of glad I missed that one, but yeah, the beers turned out great. We've just done a couple of different sours. We've done one sounds a little bit risque, but based on a porn star martini that staff are really enjoying, so
nice,
something a bit different. Yeah, and we've just done this English lager with a brewery that I did a collab with in Zurich, and there's always these interesting links in the world of beer, and a few of the people that were working at Beavertown, and one of them was working I think Red Church and a few other places. So I kind of got there not really knowing who was going to be there, and they're like, oh yeah, we worked here, we worked there, and they all knew what they were doing, and they had this really cool brew pub in Zurich that has a glass mash tun.
Wow.
Which is on, I think it's the biggest size you can get. It's like this marine glass, and 600 liters, and you can see the mash spinning in it through the window. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool, really.
Yeah, that sounds it. Terrifying, but cool.
Yeah. So
nice.
that was a lot of fun. So to get them down and do something. Yeah, it was good to see. They'd taken a concept of, you know, what they'd seen working here, and taken it to Zurich, which is a little bit further behind than we are, I guess, with the craft beer thing, and applied it there, and it was working really well. And it wasn't just, you know, the pure beer geek community. It was everyone locally was sort of embracing it, and it was a really nice atmosphere. They've done really well there. They're smashing out some pretty good lagers. So yeah,
nice. That sounds good. Do you know what they'll be called when you're collabing with them, or to look out for?
It's an English lager. I can't remember the exact name of it, but yeah, their brewery Beerworks Zurich is their name. Cool. And they have a tap room, but they've also they're opening a production site as well. So
fantastic. Oh,
do you send beer to Switzerland?
We do, yes, yeah. And I know you guys, I mean, I've seen your beers in Beijing and you know, Norway and all over really before. So I know you get out and about quite well, don't you? So
I guess sort of post Brexit, Switzerland was one of the places, and Norway, that were easy to send beer to. So we have I think like 6 small distributors in different parts of Switzerland that we send beer to.
Perfect.
They love drinking English beer, and they can afford to pay for it as well. So that's great.
That always helps. So yeah. No, we have some Swiss customers, and also very nice. They get the beer out, they enjoy it a lot. So it's a nice market for British products, I think, generally.
I didn't realize when I was out there, but there's loads of Swiss wine made, and you never see it anywhere.
No,
because they just drink it all themselves. None of it leaves the country.
Yeah,
I got to try any whilst I was there, but apparently it's good.
Fair enough. I'll keep an eye out for it next time. It's a good tip. Yeah, I know, like you say, you didn't might have to jump off at some point, but was there anything else, again, for the guys in here, you want to tell us about, or anything coming up, or was that sort of covered most of it with your collabs and your new brews as well?
There's always things in the pipeline, and stay tuned. There'll be more announcements for doing different events in London. We're trying to look to get all sorts of folk down from other friends, other breweries like ourselves. So nice. Watch the space, and hopefully you can come and see it. It's a lovely spot in summer. Right on the Thames. It's been quite a lot of work to get it where it is at the moment, and there's still a fair bit going on. But it's really, really pretty, and there's a lovely walk from. You can get a boat. You get an Uber boat to
Nice.
Cutty in Greenwich and walk around the Thames Path through the colleges and things. It's pretty special. It feels like you're really in town, which is good.
Well, I'll definitely try and pop down and make it over there as well. Also, I meant to say thank you as well for sending us the beers in the different can shapes and sizes. We had the dialyzed and, of course, the 250 mils as well. So everyone the brewery was very happy. So thank you for sending those along.
Not a problem. Did you try the dialyzed one? Do you remember trying it?
Yes, I've had that. I took 2 for myself, so I had one. I've kept one in the fridge as well. I'm going to crack into this weekend as well. But really, fantastic. I enjoyed I like the little cans as well that you guys do. They're pretty cool. So I enjoy it. Having a nice big stout in that size was pretty fun. So
it is good for those big beers. It makes more sense for sure. The thiol yeast is an interesting one, because again, it's like, how can we get different flavors, and that one sort of helps unlock flavors from malt and whatnot. But it's a yeast that you can get quite a lot of different things out of if you ferment it at different temperatures. So we made a Belgian style beer with it. We fermented it warm, and then we did this stylized IPA, which we fermented at 17, 18 degrees. The only thing was, I guess it was sort of supposed to be tropical, but it came through as a bit banana-y, which is probably wanted a bit more pineapple than banana in it.
But still.
It's interesting. Again, it's another tool in the brewer's toolbox to kind of make play around with and make new flavors with, and something that's not going to cost the earth as well. All of them were good, and again, the feedback from everyone as well. They went very swiftly once we opened the boxes at the brewery, which is always a good sign. So everyone had enjoyed them when they got them. So thank you for sending them along. Not a problem.
But thank you, Tom. Like I said, I don't want to keep you all night. We'll continue talking through the other beers here as well. So if anyone had any questions, pop them in the chat, of course, as well as always. But thank you again, Tom, for taking the time to come and join us. We'll look on to talking. We've got a few other beers, of course, in our case, as we do every month. We got Russell joining us as well, who's been doing lots of research, of course, enjoying all the Haywood. So, Russell, how have you been enjoying the Haywood so far?
It's been great. It's nice to see a different sour now back in as well after Forester. So it's been going down really well in the tap room.
Good. And so do you have the cans there as well this evening?
I do. For some reason, I thought we were on Charlie Brown first. Sorry, James, I've gone the wrong way. So I've gone
in the wrong order, Russell. Come on.
But don't worry. So Haywood, named after obviously the most popular type of kiwi, that kind of soft, furry brown one that you see in the supermarkets. It's a female kiwi, but all is not lost. It needs a male to reproduce and to get more kiwis. So anyway, so that's what we've named under kiwi and lime. They're in flavour. That's our can there. So I'm going to pour it in now. It's got a real nice haze to this one. Not completely clear, which is a bit difficult on the bar in the tap room at the moment, because I think I've got about 12 lines that are all hazy. So trying to pour a paddleboard with those is quite difficult, because you'll always forget which one. But really, really good. Obviously, it's a kettle sour. So broadly speaking, obviously it's not barrel aged. It gives our brewers a lot more measurability on making sure that they get the right level of sourness, and it's quicker as well to produce. So yeah, just introducing a lacto into the wort and then letting it ferment appropriately until obviously the right level of sourness is required. I've been told that this is upper threes on the pH scale in terms of sourness. So if anyone knows what that means, then there it is. I'm not quite sure at all what it means, but all I know is that it's not quite as sour as Floresta. So yeah, let's get into it. So straight away, that lemon and lime citrus really kicks to you, kicks in the nose, and then you get that sort of faint tart taste. It's not quite as sour as kind of a lot of the other sours that I think I've tasted, and certainly some of the barrel aged ones that Thornbridge do as well. But it's decent, and I think a lot of people tell me, we offer this to cider drinkers when people come in trying to wanting a cider, and we think this one's a bit more sessionable than of most as well, and I think it's being aimed at that kind of market as well. In terms of food pairings, I brought one along with me. It's only a small one, but what it is a tip top. Okay, so in the summer sunshine now,
nice.
This is a bit of an ice cube with a little bit of a mix, and then it's kind of it's a take on a cocktail, but that kind of sweetness then kind of cuts through your beer. I know Mr. Houston doesn't like that, but it's something for everyone, and it's something we'll probably try in the tap room as a frozen kind of sour for the summer to please everyone. So keep your eyes peeled on that as well. You've heard of Tango Ice Blast. There's a Hayward Ice Blast out there somewhere.
Yeah, it's especially hopefully, as Tom said, if this sun ever comes out and we get some sunshine, that should be nice and perfect drink for the sunshine. And you could imagine something like this almost frozen, like as a margarita style or something as well.
Absolutely, yeah. We tried it over ice, and then both in kind of a cubed and a crushed format, and then we're going to try and we'll blend it at some point. We've not got around to it yet. The sun was very brief when it was out a few weeks ago, and we were a bit busy in the tap room to kind of mess around with it, but it's something we'll definitely look at, as another offering, a bit of a different offering, to say the least.
Yeah, good. It's been, as you said already, we've changed out from Floresta, you mentioned, and so we typically have those sours coming in for a little bit at a time. We've had the Florida, the Floresta. It's nice to have these new ones coming through. The brewers can really nail those flavors in, and we sit down and talk to them about what they think is going to go well, how it's going to work, and we hope for some more sunshine. As you say, it's going to be perfect for that sort of weather as well. Gary and Joe there, congrats on the move. You're saying you moved to Hayward Heath. It wasn't planned, but we'll certainly celebrate to it now. We'll use it for that, don't worry.
Absolutely.
And then it's a good food pairing. I'm enjoying all the props as always, Russell. So how's it been this week? Been nice and busy in the run up to the
it's been okay. Yeah, I mean, it's this week and last week it's certainly a lot different from kind of the Easter kids holidays. It was carnage and chaos every day during those Easter holidays, which is great. That's what we're there for. We're there for everyone to have a good time. There were points when we couldn't hear ourselves think for dogs barking and kids screaming and running around the tap room, but we're completely pet friendly and dog friendly. So it was we had a really good time. We had bratwursts on over the bank holiday weekend as well as our pizza offering, and then we've got an outside bar as well. And we've just had a new dedicated one as well, specially made for the tap room. So that'll be outside throughout the summer to help ease some of the pressure off the bar, because the queue can get quite large at points. We offer kind of tasting flight boards and things like that. So we don't detract from our offering. We make sure that we try and let every customer kind of taste as many beers as they can, even if they are driving, for example. So we're looking into that in the summer to make things a bit more efficient. But yeah, it was a bit of a trial run, I think, for when the summer does hit us. We did have 2 or 3 days of sun, and I think everyone descended upon some sort of public house, some sort of licensed arena, which was great. It's amazing to see everyone back out. You kind of forget what it's like during the winter months, but yeah, it was good. We're looking forward to the bank holidays now, and hopefully the weather's on our side. It doesn't seem to be at the moment.
No,
but
sadly not. Well, you've also, Tom's just mentioned there, you encouraged a personal best with your pizza and goat void helpings in the
Wow,
marathon.
yeah, I did see Tom. Was it a Sheffield half, Tom, or was it a full half? Yeah, so Tom was doing the Sheffield half, I think, on the Sunday, and I saw him on the Saturday and was feeding him plenty of goat void, which I think is a 7% or a 7.2 dark beer.
It's a big beer.
Along with carb loading with loads of pizza as well. So yeah, personal best. I mean, yeah, you got to get to the tap room and drink lots of dark, strong beer and eat loads of pizza, apparently. So yeah, congratulations on that one, Tom.
Yeah, congrats, Tom. I've never done it. That's a serious marathon, though. I see the people going up those massive hills in Sheffield. It's a half, but it must feel like a whole marathon by the end with that many hills going through it. So yeah, Ring Low Road, definitely. Yeah, I don't envy you on that, but yeah, I'm glad Russell was able to help you in there with the pizza and beer as well coming through. And so this is one, keep an eye out for the Hayward coming. It's still available in the tap room. It's available online as well. And it's coming out and about in kegs. So if you're popping into any of the pubs or anything, you'll certainly see it on tap there as we keep it for these hopefully summer times that we keep talking about as well. So then, of course, we've got the full box coming in this month. So the next one is one of our favorite series, the Quiet Storm. We're really getting into the swing of it with these being monthly now. Mentioned briefly, of course, when we did the English hop before, and we were looking at the different ones through each series. We've kept the colors going here as well. So all different colors, hopefully. I've mentioned before, that's one of the things now we're running out of almost quicker than the hops at the minute. So we're just differentiating a little bit as we go through. This month, though, we're working with Eclipse. So we've done American and British recently. This time we've gone on to Australian hops. So this was they started actually starting to breed these over in Australia back in 2004 and then released it in 2020. So it's been a while they've been doing this one. It's bred out of the US. So they started with these kind of US starters and have worked their way up to producing this. And for them, over at the hop breeding company in Australia, this is one of their real pride and joys. We were excited to be using it ourselves. Hopefully people have had the chance to try it. As always, please don't feel obliged to be drinking at the same speed we're talking about the beers. If you have had it yet, or if you're going to have it over this nice long weekend coming up, the main descriptors, the aim for this one is they really want that mandarin, that citrus character coming through, a little hint of sort of maybe like floral pine in the middle as well. Just a little bit you get that nice prickling on the tongue. And again, a good opportunity to come and see the different styles of hops as well. So you can compare it now to British and the classic Centennial, the Americans that we've had coming out too. And hopefully maybe it's a nice new hop for people, one that people haven't tried before. Let us know what you think of this one so far in the chat there. I did an event a couple of weeks ago and we poured a couple of different varieties of the later Quiet Storms. And it was really nice to do it in person, actually, and talk to people who tried a whole bunch of the series, people who were just getting into beers, who had learned about the beer hops and the styles through this. So we found it really does kind of stick with people this series. So we're pleased to be able to keep it going. Of course, we're going to have more coming in next month as well. So please keep your eyes peeled as always. We'll have go back to British hops for next month. You may well already have seen we've announced on socials the different beers we're going to be having in there. The big one, if you haven't had a chance to see the box, we're going to be doing another collab, and this time with Budvar. So the Czech brewery, the guys who literally part of Czech government is the ownership there. They make, they've been making fantastic beers for a long, long time. Really, for me, some of the best beers you can find anywhere. I was drinking at one of their stands with the guys there over the last weekend, having some proper Czech poured pints in the big glasses with the handles on, foam for days. And they make such fantastic beers. So when they reached out to us about doing the first ever international collaboration brew, we were very, very excited. So you're going to see Checkmates coming along in the next box, where we've taken their kind of their idea and their brew, and we've used our English malt and English hops and ingredients in there as well. And done it in their style on our brew kit too. So we'll of course get more into that next month, but it is one we're very excited about. So yeah, make sure to join along with us then. We'll be putting out details about some launches and things too. So certainly, yeah, keep an eye out for that one coming through. And then otherwise, I'd say let me know on the Quiet Storm what you're thinking there. Sorry, I got a bit excited thinking a month ahead as well about that one with the Budvar. But we have, talking back of traditional British styles, as we covered at the start here, we've gone for an extra special bitter. So our 500ml bottles continue. We've got the bottle conditioned ones all coming through. The responses so far have been really fantastic. We've been very flattered with the way people have received these ones. And there really is that trend going back towards these traditional styles. People want British bitters, they want them to be bottle conditioned. We're happy to brew and provide them, of course, as well. So as you can see here, you get that really nice, almost like that coppery, light mahogany maybe. And it's just always the head on bottle conditioned beers. I know every time we do them, I talk about it like this, but just the way that foam comes around, the tight bubbles, it looks so nice. You get the really nice carbonation on here off the bottle conditioning too. And it just gives you that mouthfeel, like you sat in the pub drinking a great pint of cask. Mark, never order an ESB, but this is outstanding. That's perfect. You know, we of course do all these different styles in the box. We want to come up with different ideas and different ways of kind of, you know, hopefully getting new styles to people or styles you wouldn't try normally. And bitters, you know, they're a very traditional, long-standing style for the UK. It's something we're very proud of. We do our Lord Marples as a core beer. We do lots of different bitters in different formats as well. But being able to produce a new one like this, we do it in cask as well. And producing it like this in 500ml bottles has been really fun for us, just so we can put that next bit out here and hopefully let people try these styles at home, again, who maybe wouldn't order ESBs otherwise. So how have you found this one, Russell, the Apricity?
Yeah, great. Yeah, the first bottle conditioner one we did, the Krackendale, was absolutely fantastic. I think that was last Beer Box month. So yeah, really looking forward to the Apricity. We were lucky enough to have it on cask quite a while ago now, and it just absolutely flew out there. And even a bitter at 5.6%, which is, you know, relatively high, still went really, really well. And it's great. Yeah, it's great in the glass. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah, the bottle conditioned beers that we've got going on at the moment, I think it's really, really good, especially in the 500ml range.
Yeah, I mean, that sweetness, you get that little sweetness, the rounded mouthfeel, that kind of almost like little sweet citrus on the back, that orangey, not too much like pithy, more towards that sweet, not quite marmalade, but it's getting there. Like for me, yeah, it is. It's a proper, just nice, drinkable beer. I've got a couple more of these in the fridge for the long weekend as well. I'm excited to tuck into.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the higher ABV. Is that what gives it that slight sweetness? Is it?
Yeah, and as a style, typically you'll get that nice sweetness in there already. So even back to Marples, but yeah, I mean, getting up towards over 5.5%, it's certainly not going to hurt in that format either. And a little more body as well, I think, with that too for me. So yeah, the body, the flavor, really a traditional style. So, but we've already seen some good excitement for it. We work in some, you know, markets internationally that really love these traditional British bitters, and so bringing out one that's over 5.5%, which typically helps to go a little better in the markets we work in. We've had a lot of excitement and demand already everywhere for this one too, so it's nice to be able to do it. And then as we sort of pop along to talking into the next beer as well, just before, Charlotte, I should check, have we got anything coming up you wanted to mention, or anything we should be looking out for at the moment online, or any events?
I suppose the main thing is the pick and mix offer is ending after this weekend. So if anyone hasn't taken advantage of that, then they should. And I believe the beer club discount can be used on top of that as well. So even better.
Pretty sweet.
And the only thing coming up in the immediate future is, I think the Bunderbust are doing a new beer with us, and that's launching. I can find out what day for you if you said.
Sorry, Charlotte, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No. I think Thursday the 4th of May at the Colmore So yeah, if anyone wants to be there, then that's when it is.
No, certainly got a few Birmingham-based folk on, so yeah, make sure to pop on down for that. We'll be with the Blunderbuss team, so it's going to be a good evening there. Thank you, Charlotte. Perfect. Always good to remind me. So thank you. And then Tom's actually been there, did the Colmore on Friday. And then great afternoon doing the Brum Brew Fest as well. So perfect timing for us to be there in Birmingham as well. Trying Necessary Evil single malt. Okay. Hopefully you enjoyed that and the Pachamama. That's a big end to the day there, Steve. So well done. Yeah, and that sounds like a good one as well. Yeah, that Necessary Evil English you can keep an eye out for as well. It's yeah, something, just a nice bit of difference as well on what we have at the moment. So but yeah, so that leaves us one big beer to finish out with there as well. Again, I know Russell, you've been very excited about this one, and of course tasting it and trying it too. So please tell us a little bit about Charlie Brown.
Yeah, so ever since we announced it, obviously a few months ago, or it was put into plan, really excited. It's a beer of years gone by, so really keen to know everyone's thoughts on this one. But 6.2% butter brown ale, peanut in taste, nut free, so peanut flavouring. But I mean, yeah, it's great. Again, we were lucky enough to have it on cask. I always say we're lucky enough to have it on cask, but I literally have to beg to get it put into the tap room to make sure that we've got some of it. So we had it a little while ago, and it's about to go on keg as well. So we're just finishing off the last of the Quiet Storm Eclipse, and then it'll be Charlie Brown will be on keg format as well. But yeah, you know, kind of that dark brown kind of that look to it. Anyone that was with us when we had it in the box knows I love a brown beer, but you know, a peanut infused one, you know, even better. So yeah, really deceptive, I think. You know, it doesn't taste like a 6.2 at all, actually, tasting that. And it's absolutely flown out the door. It's been really popular. I think we've got 4 or 5 cases left of it in the tap room now. So so try and, you know, if you're local, try and get it while it's there. There's a few online as well, but it's just a remarkable beer. I think it's great. I think it's great that we've made sure that it's peanut free as well, so that, you know, most people can enjoy it. Yeah, great beer, really good.
That's it. Yeah, the big flavour and everything as well there, as you'd expect from the peanut butter brown. It's been one of our fastest selling beers. You've managed to have a few for the tap room still, but yeah, it has gone very swiftly everywhere.
I mean, that's down to you, isn't it, James? I think you sent me a little sneaky email to let me know there was only a few remaining, and then I snapped up all that I could. Yes. And then even that's absolutely flown out now, and a couple of the staff have had their cases as well. You know, making sure they've got their hands on it as well for the next. They can stock themselves up for the next couple of months or couple of weeks with the way it's going. We're all now kind of trading between us who's got what, and swapping between us. But yeah, it's great. I mean, my squash nights has moved from a Wednesday to a Thursday, so I've just come off a squash hour. So there's a lot of beer being consumed at the moment. So I can imagine I'll be quite lightheaded afterwards. But you know, with a Charlie Brown peanut butter bagel, always right. I'm always gonna bring a prop, or more to the point, because of the sweetness in it, the caramel, the chocolate. It's got to be Snickers. A perfect ending to an evening. Absolutely, you know, an hour of squash, home, you know, Charlie Brown or 2 cans, because I've got an extra can in the fridge, and a bar of Snickers, all my protein, all the goodness inside. You've had my 5 a day earlier in the day, you know, so I think I deserve a treat. But and what a treat that is. I mean, I've raved about it for absolutely ages, and you know, I know I begged you to do Charlie Brown on the call as well. I probably haven't done it justice in terms of describing the Golden's variety hops in it, and the Whitbread Golden, sorry, and the Magnum. But yeah, nice and bitter, peanut flavour, you know, a little bit of chocolate in there as well from that malt. Not a lot more to say.
No, good. It's like, I know you've talked about it before. It's been years now since the last brew came out, but it's very nice to bring it back in all formats as well. Cask, keg, can too. So yeah, it's certainly been popular, and as always, enjoy the props. That's good to see. Yeah, all the food pairings as well. It's something we do take seriously. Every can has those pairings on. All of the food booklets do, and then you take it and run with it as well, Russell. So yeah.
I mean, in the book it's a Thai ginger salad, but I had 15 minutes between getting home and getting on the call. There's no way I could knock up a Thai ginger salad, but yeah, maybe in the future, because I've got my case of it, and I'll be keeping an eye on it as well to make sure that it only comes out at special occasions. But yeah, roast nutty brown beer, that's right up my street, that one.
Yeah, perfect. And as you say, it's gone out that fast. All the responses so far have been phenomenal. So everyone did pretty well getting it straight into the beer club box, because yeah, unless you go and visit Russell for his last couple of cases, it's that's pretty much it, sadly. So it's been that popular. I'm sure we'll maybe look to bring it back again in the future as well. But we'll see how we get on. So yeah, and that thank you, Russell. That takes us through the beer box we have there. You may have seen it in the chat, guys. Tom dashed off there. Unfortunately, we knew he was having to leave, but it was very nice to have Tom along and just talking through everything with us as well, as always. And, you know, they're such a well-established brewery, already Brew by Numbers. Their beer gets all over the place. They make some fantastic stuff, but it's very nice to hear a little bit more from, you know, the guys themselves as well about it too. So it's great to have Tom on. As I mentioned already, I've waxed lyrical about next month's box, but please come and join us on here. We love to, you know, talk even more about it when we get to it as well. We've got fantastic beer coming up with Wiper and True. Another really, you know, one of those breweries, fantastic beer, great quality, really good guys to work with as well, in that ESB style too. So, you know, there's going to be some fantastic beers coming up next month. So please come and join us. And then Stephen just said there, superb stuff. Well, thank you for, you know, joining us as well. Receive the second box and the choice. The choice is really kind of what we go for on these. You know, we want to make sure, again, we're talking through, we don't want to get bored talking about them. The brewers don't want to get bored making them. We like to produce so many different styles and varieties. And of course, to do them well. We're lucky the brew team, you know, with their years of knowledge and experience between them, they're able to brew these styles. We say, you know, can you do a kiwi and lime sour? And they're like, yeah, okay, nail it. Like, we'll do this, we'll do that. So, you know, we're very lucky on the marketing and sales side. We're able to come out and talk about them like that. So yeah, well, thank you as well for joining us, Stephen, too. It's we'll be doing these, you know, every month and talking about the boxes. You'll see all the usual emails. We'll get all the dates out to everyone as well. So hopefully see you all in a few more weeks. We'll be drinking along, trying some of these beers together as well. And so yeah, so thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Russell, taking the time to join us. Thank you, Charlotte, for looking after us as well. And cheers, everybody. Hope you all have a good long weekend, 2 long weekends coming up. And yeah, take care. We'll see you all next month. So thank you all very much. Cheers.